Judge, today's case is X Factor.
Exes, gambling, cheating, discipline, money. We are about to take a look at a couple that has every issue in the book.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Britney Lowe and Derek Copeland. The two of you have been together for 2.5 years, engaged for 2 of it. You don't have any children together, but you each have children from previous relationships. Ms. Lowe, I'm going to start with you. You would like to have Mr. Copeland pay $1,500 for an unpaid loan for attorney fees, and we're going to talk about that momentarily. But before we do, I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit about your relationship and why we're here today.
I'm here today because I am dealing with the consequences of a man who has always been cheated on. For instance, I was at a baseball game and he snuck up behind me as I'm scrolling through social media just to see what I'm doing, trying to catch me doing something or whatever. Another instance is where I met up with my child's father at the baseball game. We were sitting together because my son plays baseball, and he did not let me know that he was already there. So he was sitting in the car watching us without letting me know that he was there, just to see if we were doing anything.
So he was peeping to see if you were creeping with the other guy.
Right. Without not even telling me that he was there.
Now, Mr. Copeland, she says that you have a jealous mind because of your past encounters. Is that at all true?
And somewhat, yes, Your Honor. And I was cheated on. And it's kind of hard to get that trust back. And
Right.
I'm not saying that it was Britney,
Right,
or anything,
right.
but
I
it's
have
just
to
what
deal
I'm
with it.
used to.
Right. Have you ever caught Ms. Lowe doing anything suspect?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me what that was.
There was one incident when it was after we first met, and she, throughout the night, I kind of saw her like talking to someone else a little bit, and so I confronted her and asked her, I said, is something going on that I need to know about, or what's going on? And
Well, what kind of conversation were they having? Because I have conversations all day long. I talk to them.
I know, Your Honor. It was just I don't know. It's just I felt something was going on, and I was right.
Was she leaning in? Was he leaning over? Was whispering, touching?
This was a female.
Is that true?
That's true, Your Honor.
Has she been known to be sexually fluid?
No, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Copeland, I'm trying to help you out here. I'm trying to help you out.
But I was right. They did kiss and everything. And
I admitted it right after it happened.
She did tell me.
Oh, now wait a minute.
See?
So what happened?
So we had been drinking for a long period of time, up until about 3 or 4 in the morning. And it happened. I ended up kissing. It wasn't a very sensual kiss. It was just, it happened. And then as soon as it did happen, I felt like I had to tell Derek, and I did. And then he got upset. And of course, it escalated into this huge argument, which I shouldn't have done. I shouldn't have done that.
I was there.
Did you see him kiss?
No.
I didn't, no, Your Honor.
So you just told him. Were you
Yes.
drunk when you told him?
Yes.
Drink and then go to bed. That's what you don't do nothing. After, you should have a count. After drink, never throw all I'm gonna do, and then go to bed.
But that's the only thing that's ever happened. And I feel like I suffer because of what his exes have done to him. We have a huge problem with one of his exes. And she's one of the majority of the fights that we have. She constantly calls the police on us and makes up stories. She's tried to have
What does she call the police about?
Any and everything. For
Give me
instance,
one. Yeah.
I called her one day because she decided that she was gonna tell that I was a stripper. So after her approaching me that, I told her the truth. I said I did bartend at a strip club back in my younger days. And no, I do not strip. And basically, it just kind of frustrated me because why am I having to say this when this is your ex? And you should be saying these things. I shouldn't have to call her and say anything because I can't talk to her because she cusses me out and hangs up the phone and says she's gonna call the police because I'm harassing her.
You ask why a lot. If somebody, anybody, is over there whispering with a whisper campaign about you, don't call them because they're not reasonable people. It's not a solution. You're not going to stop it. They're not going to say, oh, since you called and cleared up the stripper thing, I'm not going to say it no more.
But another thing that happened is one day I was at home. I got a call from my apartment complex. We don't technically live together. He still has his own place, and I still have my own place. Now, if he were to move in, I have to put him on the lease.
Right.
Otherwise, that's a violation of the lease, and you can get kicked out. She decided to take it upon her, one of his exes, and call up to management and say that he was living there and all this stuff. So I get a phone call one day saying that, hey, I have to come through, or I have to come by and see you. She didn't say why or anything like that. Shows up at the door, and she has a video camera and one of the maintenance men with her.
He can't stop her. If she's a persistent personality, that's who she is. The best thing you can do is ignore people like that.
But I have spent thousands of dollars for attorneys. Yes, I've gotten most of it back.
You let him handle that.
But he won't.
You stay out of it. It's not your thing. Stay out of it.
Is one day I was at home, I got a call from my apartment complex. We don't technically live together. He still has his own place, and I still have my own place. She decided to take it upon her, one of his exes, and call up to management and say that he was living there and all this stuff. So I get a phone call one day. I have to come through, or I have to come by and see you. She didn't say why or anything like that. Shows up at the door, and she has a video camera and one of the maintenance men with her. She's like, we have to go through your apartment to make sure that there's nobody else living in this apartment other than you and your son because you have not told us otherwise. And I said, hey, feel free, go ahead, go through anything that you need to. So they did, they didn't find anything. Not even a week later, this ex is still calling the apartment trying to, I guess, just keep me kicked out of my apartment.
Yeah. But calling her ain't gonna help. Do you see what I'm saying? She's where she is.
But shouldn't he say something?
Oh, I'm gonna fuss at him in a minute. But what I'm telling you is, you can't make that situation better. Wait, do you try to shut that down? Are you scared of her?
Yes.
I'm not scared of her.
Yes, you are.
She's gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
No matter what anybody tells her, she's gonna be hurt.
You know, hey, let me say this. I became a judge in 1994. And I have met a number of defendants with persistent personalities. That's what I call people like that. They have a persistent personality. All the rationality, all of the conversation, all of the discussion in the world will not change who they are. As a matter of fact, if you engage them, it ratchets up the behavior. He can't stop her. If she's a persistent personality, that's who she is. The best thing you can do is ignore people like that.
But I have spent thousands of dollars for attorneys. Yes, I've gotten most of it back because of what she's done.
Then stay out of it. It's not your thing. Stay out of it. You can't uncrazy people. You can't do it. You know what I mean? What you can't cope with is the fact that you don't have the right to be mad and retaliate and be angry about it. You got a right to be mad, but retaliation only gets you more of what you're trying to avoid.
Right.
You got to go super cold.
But it's not like I'm not trying to retaliate.
But you're mad and you express that.
But when she
you got a bit of a persistent personality yourself. But why? You can't just,
But who spent thousands of dollars when they shouldn't have?
Does gambling kind of get ahead of you every once in a while?
If I get pulled to the casino,
If you get pulled to the casino. If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms, and for exclusive content, go to Apple TV. You say he doesn't make sufficient financial efforts.
Right.
Tell me about that.
I know he pays a lot in child support. I do know that because he has 2 children. Other than that, I don't know where money goes. He did have a gambling problem for a little bit, and I think that a lot of that went to, gambling and stuff like that.
But who was wanting to go to the
But who
casino?
spent thousands of dollars when they shouldn't have?
Who was wanting to go to the casino?
I can pull out $100 and I'm okay. This man will wipe out a whole bank account thinking he's going to hit $100,000 and we're going to be good.
But Mr. Copeland, does gambling kind of get ahead of you every once in a while?
If I get pulled to the casino, yes, Your Honor.
If you get pulled to the casino,
He acts like I
so she get grabs you by the collar.
That's what it's pretty
and
much.
she drags you to the casino with her.
I love this woman very much, Your Honor. So, I mean, when she, asked me to do something,
Do you take him to the casino?
But it's his idea, too. I don't understand why he's trying to make it seem like I'm the only one. Like,
Ms. Lowe? Why would you take him to a casino at all? Why would you go with him to a casino
Because
if you know he has a
what-
gambling problem?
This is what he wants to do. He wants to do it.
Yeah, smokers like to smoke. That's no reason to buy him a pack.
But he also...
what do I tell you?
But he also promises to only bring a certain amount, and then he'll sneak his debit card
He's
and he
got a
runs
gambling
off.
problem. He can
Yeah,
promise all day long. That's what a gambling problem is. He does not have control over his gambling. So what he promises is meaningless because he has a gambling problem.
I've told
Well, this
her.
comes down to this then. One day, he told me that he wanted to go back and turn in a ticket that he left, and I think it was only for like $75 or $100 or something. So he forgot to cash it in. So we only live an hour from the casino. So he drove to the casino, and I barely hear from him throughout the day. I'm like, hey, I know it only takes like 45 minutes to cash in a ticket to get your money. This went on all day long. I'm still in line, knowing that he was out there gambling.
I asked her to come with me, Your Honor.
No.
Oh, yes.
Until his car got a flat tire on the way home and it was at night. And he's like, can you come get me? And I said no, because I'm not gonna come pick you up after you lied to me for like 7 to 8 hours.
It's like sending a heroin addict down over to Afghanistan
But
in
he
the
wouldn't-
poppy fields and asking them to cut the poppies, but don't use them.
Right.
Why would you send a gambling addict to
wouldn't
turn in a ticket?
He wouldn't let me take the ticket. He wanted to do it himself. So I'm not gonna just take it from him.
No, I did not. I asked you.
No, you did not.
I did
Do not
ask you,
lie
come
up
with
here.
me.
He's lying.
You
He didn't.
court your own
not.
pain, Ms. Lowe. You court your
Not.
own pain. I want to fuss at him about something. Tell me something I can fuss at him about. Anything.
Okay, so he's been at his job now for 5 years.
Okay.
Which I love. He's really hardworking. He always promises when a new position comes open. He took a class to even move up to get paid more, but never does anything about it. He took this class almost 2 years ago.
And never tried to get a
even-
job, never used those skills.
No.
Mr. Copeland, is that accurate?
In a way, yes, Your Honor. But I did put in for a new job, and I got the job, but something, I don't know what happened.
They were laying people off.
It fell through. I had a start date of December 21st last year.
But you don't know what happened?
I was not told to move, because I was supposed to move January 20th when the new pay period started, and nobody told me.
You
So
did
then
not
once-
inquire?
Did, yes, Your Honor.
And what'd they
go up
tell
there,
you?
and the woman that I spoke with said that she was going to speak to whoever she needed to and come back up there in a couple days, which I did. And when I went back up there, they hired too many people, on the mechanic side, and they started laying off people.
Are there other opportunities you haven't taken?
There has been this one opportunity.
Are you not? Some
I
people
do
just aren't
procrastinate,
aggressive.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know what I mean? You're not aggressive about your dollar. I mean, some people just aren't.
I'm not, Your Honor.
He's
now, once I
comfortable
get
where he
comfortable
is.
in a position.
Listen, right, yeah.
You know, that's.
Then it's just cool.
Yes.
But then why did you take the class? Why do you come home and say, I'm gonna put in this risk?
That's you asking why again. You gonna kill yourself with that why question. I'm gonna tell you
Well,
something.
it's just like, then
you-
why is all this being said? I'm
See-
confused.
People are the way they are. And once
Right.
you determine somebody is a certain way, then you can't keep asking why they do certain things. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
When he went up there with that ticket, you should have said, oh, he's gonna gamble all day long.
Oh, I
you
knew he
shouldn't
was.
have
You
been
already told me
insulted and been lied to.
Yeah.
And, you know, you knew what was gonna happen. I wouldn't have let him go with the ticket. I'd have put
Oh,
that
he
ticket
was going
down.
either way.
Yeah.
I can't stop him. He's gonna go.
But you,
I would have.
I'm trying to help you. It doesn't appear I'm being successful. Ms. Lowe, I understand you want $1,500 from Mr. Copeland for an unpaid loan for attorney's fees. Can you explain that to me?
Yes, ma'am. So I had to come up with $1,500 to hire an attorney to help a issue that was going on with his ex. And I'm kind of hoping that I can get some of that money back as far as what we've had to go through. And I have that right here, the agreements.
Did you get any of that money back? Did they reimburse you any of that?
I did get the last one. The very first one, I did not get the $1,500. He paid for the other $15.
Okay. And that was a decision that you made?
Yes.
So you have to pay for the decisions that you make. I can't hold him financially responsible because you goaded him into doing something that you had to end up paying for.
Okay.
I mean, not goading it into. I think you're a perfect good guy. I think you have what we call a low wattage well over there, Mr. Copeland. You kind of just, 45 watts on the light bulb. It's enough to see. But you really don't light up the room. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking intellect, I'm talking desire, I'm talking pursuit. And then what happens is you end up with a woman who's a siren. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
I understand.
these poppy, wild women that, hey, well, why is this happening? And they dip and they do, and then they get mad when you don't. You get the guy you marry, not the one you hope you'll become.
Right. And no.
I think you're two good people who need to accept who the other one is and live that truth and not be all scrunched up about the fact that they're not somebody other than who they are. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
All right, so talk to me a little bit about what's going through your mind now after hearing what Judge Lynn had to say.
I feel like I just need to stop getting in the middle of everything that's going on between the exes and mind my business. And if I have a problem, I'll talk with my fiance. And if it gets nowhere, I'll just leave the subject alone.
You guys have been together for some time now. You want to make this work.
I do. I love Britney very much. And I do want to spend the rest of my life with her.
All right, rooting for you guys.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yes, sir.